Hello, everybody. I think everybody is going well now. I personally feel that your exams are going well, and now in this session we are discussing how should you do the last day revisions for the CFR exam. Ready? So this is the last content we making for June 25. Clear? So now we slightly moving on to the content. So in this content, what we discuss, the two areas we cover. Number one, order of topics you have to be revised. In which order each chapters you have to cross, and the second one, must do question. Clear? So I'm slightly moving on. So first of all, before seeing this video, I have to say three disclaimers. The first one, this plan is highly suitable for those who covered at least 2 times CFR revision. Otherwise, I can't assure that you will get a grip on my plan and must do question, because if you just cover only one or less than one, I cannot assure you can cope up with my plan. Ready? So, and this plan ensures almost full volume coverage. Ready? We're not taking a one or two question or one or two area. We cover the massive area. Clear? And if you have any different strategy or plans, I personally respect you. You go with that. But this is the plan especially for those who seeking a well plan for the day before exam. So then this is applicable. Otherwise, if you have a strong plan from your own revision, then you go with that. Ready? So now, first way, how should you revise the topics, in what order? So almost in the same way we discussing in our classes. So in our classes we discussing the topics in 3 levels. Out of that, the first level is standards. So in that standards, first you have to cover this 4 standard, because all these 4 standards are asset based standards. In this 36 and PPE and intangible asset and borrowing cost. So this nearly testing for a 14-mark question usually. Clear? That's it. So that should be the first. Then rest of the standard you learn after our level 2. Ready? So after these 4 standards, you better to cover our level 2. That's a massive area, so which almost cover a 55 marks on an average. Goodwill and share valuation, business combination and consolidation. That's a correct flow. Clear? That's it. Ready? And then you revise some other standards, especially in this 102 share based payment and 116 lease and 1150. This is a highly important standard. And then you cover some silly standards. For that you take maximum 1 hour. So because very less volume we have, in this 108 operating segments, 113 fair value measurement, in this 12 income tax, in this 21 forex. Ready? And in this 8. Ready? This is a small standard, but you have to cover it just 1 hour. That's a maximum. Just make a fast track revision on this one. Ready? Then you have the theory topics, especially government accounting and NBFC. This is not a theory, but you have to cover illustration 1 and 4 in the ICMA material. That's a 2 question you must do in that. Then you have recent development in reporting. In that you have to cover XBRL first, then QBR and sustainability report, and economic value added and market value added. This is a problem type question. So in this one you have to cover June 23 question 7A and some previous year questions. Clear? Ready? Now value added statement, you must cover illustration 1. This is a exact topic we covering in CMAD. And then we have 2 more theory topic, integrated reporting, ESG and quarterly earnings call. So all these theory topics I have a clear cut notes just to summarize all the points. Clear? Now apart from that, financial instrument is another chapter. Ready? So if you have the time, then you have to go through the illustration given in the material. But if you are not yet covered, then you don't need to stress on that topic. You just leave it. Ready? Now we moving on to must do question. Remember, before saying this must do question, I have another two disclaimers. Ready? First of all these questions are the minimum questions you have to do. Ready? Because it's a day before exams, you only have a very less time. If you are attempting both group, maximum you get a 6 hour. But if you are attempting single group, then you will get at least a 24 hour. Ready? So if you are attempting for one group and if you have that 1.5 day leave, then you must ensure you covered all these questions and the questions in the same order of our revision strategy. Ready? But if you are a both group student, then at least you have to cover the question we mentioning. But if you are attempting only one group and if you have the enough time, you can cover all the rest of the question along with this question. Ready? And now these questions are not the predictable question. I'm not predicting any of this question will be repeated. I'm not saying that kind of bullshits. Ready? But if you cover this question, you will get an enlarged coverage of all the topics. So all these questions I sorted in a way that which ensures that you covered all the areas in each topic. Ready? That's it. So now firstly moving on. So you remember the revision strategy written for every chapter. Same question, but in that similar pattern of question I'm eliminated. I only take different type of questions. So when we coming into the first standard, you cover question 1, that's a basic impairment calculation usually coming. Then question 2, impairment loss treatment, especially in case of revaluation reserve. And question 6, just a CGU question. And illustration 11, that's a ICMA material question. So remember, this question reference is in my book. This, if I put question, just question, that's a reference of my own SEFA book. If I put illustration 11, that is ICMA material question. And if I put any extra ICMA material practice question, then I'll put that page number here. Ready? And question 8, that's a corporate asset, that's a must question. Clear? So this is the minimum question you have to go through. Ready? And some other question you just go through, you go through the calculators, and if you have enough time you can go through all the time, but at least you ensure that you covered this question. Ready? Coming into index 16, you must cover question 2 in my book and question 3 in my book and question 6. Purchase, constructed and exchange. Then illustration 5, 7, 8, subsequent measurement and depreciation. And you have to cover through this MCQ. Just go through this calculators. Clear? Those are in the 16 questions we have. Ready? And now intangible asset, always they ask research and development treatment kind of question. Question 4 you must do, and question 2 be in June 24 attempt. Clear? That's a good question. So that's a minimum question you have to go through this standard. Now we have borrowing cost. You have a question 2 basic question. Question 7 and 8 is especially how do we calculate borrowing cost to be capital in case of specific and general loan. And question 1 exchange loss capitalization. Now you will go through some goodwill and share valuation, but when you coming into the next important standards, share based payment, you must do illustration 14 and then illustration 17, that's a vesting period item. Then you just go through illustration 18 and 19 and illustration 15 cash based cash settled plans, that means SAR. Ready? And 16 compound instrument, and there is a ICMA special question, that is June 23 page in my book, page number 353, question 4A in June 23 attempt. So you make sure that you covered this question. Clear? So in this 116 in lease, you have to cover illustration 9, 29, so that ensures that lessee books and lesser books accounting. Then you have to go through some special question they are drafting in the previous exams. Question 8A June 23 and December 23 question 2A, and the page numbers are ready. Clear? Now revenue from contract with a customer, so you have do some silly questions, illustration 24, 26, 28, 29, and in my book concept capsule 7, 8, 13 at least. Clear? That's it. Ready? Now when we coming into level 2, you try to practice all the questions just by in your papers. If you have the time, better to practice in a ref pages this level 2 topics. Ready? But if you're just only have a few time, that means if you're attempting both group, then you just go through the calculators because you only have that time. Ready? So in goodwill valuation, you do ICMA question 3, page number 144. That is a basic question which covers all the formulas. Ready? Then question 10 in my book. Clear? Then coming into share valuation also covers a goodwill valuation topics. So basic illustration 3, then illustration 5, then illustration 7 that covers an advanced FMP and capital employed calculation. Then we have some 2 variety question 5, that's a liability side approach share valuation. Then question 6b, that's a special question just to calculate dividend yield valuation and earnings yield in my book. Clear? That's it. Ready? Okay, so you must go through at least this question. Clear? Ready? Now, consolidated financial statement, that's a big chapter. So first in my book, if you have the time, you just go through that basic question. But if you don't have, you straightly coming into question 1, different cases, NCA calculations. Then question 9, that is dividend and revaluation adjustment. Then you straightly do question 6 in June 24. Page number 394 in my book, marathon adjustment, that covers revaluation, dividend, unrealized profit, then common item. Clear? So this will give you a good exposure in complete consolidation question. Then you have to do illustration 8, revaluation question in ICMA material, then illustration 5 in dividend. Ready? Then multiple subsidiary question 2, chain holding question 13, equity method question, ICMA material illustration 1 and 6, and step back question you just cover June 24 question 5, because all these questions are set in an order which covers all the topics in consolidation. Clear? Just like that, when we coming into business combination, first you cover taken over, you have question 2 and question 3, then question 6, that's a super question related to PC calculation, and question 8. Ready? Then when we coming in to amalgamation, acquisition method, we have question 7, and I gave an extra assignment question. In that you could do that question 1 in that separate PDF. Then CCT, common control transaction, you do question 9, demerger you do question 10, reverse acquisition question 14 in my book, question 14, and similar kind of questions are in ICMA material also. Ready? Then Indian reconstruction, you cover this 3 question. Clear? That's it, especially June 23 question 2b. So that ensures all the topics in business combination. So now in the rest of the standards, I never prefer any sum question. Only in that topic itself we have a few questions. So in my revision strategy, you just go through that. Just look and go. Ready? You're not you don't need to practice it. Ready? Now when we coming into theory topics, you have to cover at the end. Ready? Just before the exam. Ready? So you must ensure that you covered all the theory questions clear properly. Ready? So we have a separate PDF for government accounting, must do items, and XBRL, which I might given in the classes. Then XBRL, all the items. Clear? This is all the CFR. So now I just discussed the minimum questions and the order, the best order in my sense. Clear? So you can follow this one. So now CFR. So always before attempting the exam, you check the strategy whether they gives any extra unfamiliar question. Then if if they gave too much unfamiliar questions, so in the first half, you just try to sort only the familiar question and go with that. Ready? Don't stuck with unfamiliar question in the first half. So just focus on the question. You can expect some new questions. Ready? But don't worry, you can still earn a 60 plus at least. That's my guarantee, because we took a lot of effort. Ready? So now, in short, at the end, what I have to say, you just believe in your preparation, so that will ultimately give you the confidence. And pray for yourself, and I always pray for you. Ready? So thank you for this last minute talk. I'm not taking too much time, so all the best. Once again, signing off. This is Ramshad here. Thank you.